Bruchim haboim. Welcome everyone. We're about to begin Be'ezras Hashem together on Daf Tzadik Dalid Amar Aleph, 11 lines from the top. Our Mishnah stated Derech Rechoika is defined as somebody who's being from Modi'in or beyond. And Ula explains that to mean that Modi'in is a distance of 15 milin from Yerushalayim. He supports himself from Rabbi Yochanan, because Rabbi Yochanan says that the entire day that would go from the earliest part of the day, dawn, alos hashachar, to the end of the day, tzeitzei kochavim, would be 40 milin, whereby a person can travel 5 milin from the alos hashachar until the netzach hama. At the end of the day, another 5 milin from the sunset, shkia, to tzeitzei kochavim, whereby that leaves us with 30 milin in between the netzach hama and sunset. On a day of Nisan where it's equal, you'd have then 15 milin until from netzach hama until chatzois, another 15 milin from chatzois until the shkia, which is the end of the time that a person can be sheichet the Korban Pesach. Whereby Ul then says, we can see from here, that 15 milin is from, again, chatzois until the end of the day, as Rabbi Yochanan states. The Gemara now brings the following statement. Omar Rave, Rava said, Shisa alfi parsi have olma. He says if a person were to then observe from the earth, you'll see that the sun can travel from sunrise to sunset, a total of 6,000 parse. Vesumcha de rakia alfas parsi, and the thickness of the rakia after the sun would set would go then in the thickness of the firmament. That would be 1,000 parsi. The Gemara says chad de gemara v'chad esvara. One of the statements that he made is a gemara, as a tradition, while the other one is a svara. When he said it was 6,000 parse that the sun goes from one sunrise all the way to sunset, that's what we call a gemira, that's a tradition. However, the thickness of the rakia, where the sun travels through, is 1,000. That's a svara, as the Gemara says now. Chad the gemara v'chad svara. Savar lo ki ha de omar Rabbi bar Rav Chana Rabbi Yochanan. That which Rabbi Yochanan said, Kama mahalech adam beinoni beyom. How much can an average person travel during the day? Asar parsos, 10 parso. That's just 40 milin. Me'alos hashachar v'ad hanetzach hama, hey milin. There's from alois hashachar, dawn, until netzach hama is 5 milin. Mishkias hachama ad tzeitzach kochavim chamesh misha milin. And the end of the day, from sunset to tzeitzach kochavim, is another 5 milin, whereby you're left with a total of 30 milin in between. Nimsa oivya shel rakia echad mishisha biyoim. Therefore, the thickness of the firmament is 1/6, because 5 out of the 30 would give you then the 1/6 ratio. Meisvei asked the Gemara from the following brisa, Rabbi Yehuda Omer. Rabbi Yehuda says the following: Oivya shel rakia echad me'asara bayoim. The thickness of the firmament, he says, is 1/10 of the day. Teda, and he proves, Kama mahalech adam beinoni bayoim. How does an average person travel during the day? How much? Eser parsos, 10 parso, which is again 40 milin. Ume'alos hashachar ad hanetzach hama arbos milin. He said it's 4 milin between the dawn and netzach hama, and also at the end of the day, mishkias hachama v'ad tzeitzach kochavim arbos milin is also only 4 milin, whereby you have 8 milin altogether. If you then subtract it out from the 40 milin of the entire day, you'll come with 32. Nim says oivya shel rakia echad me'asara biyoim. So it comes out to be that the 4 out of the 32 would be 1/8, or 4 out of 40, the entire day would be 1/10. So this is clearly different with what Rava said when he said that the entire thickness is 1,000. Tiyufta de Rava, Tiyufta de Ula, Tiyufta. So this is a Tiyufta on Rava, where he just said, again, that the thickness is 1,000. It's also a Tiyufta on Ula, because Ula had stated that there is 30 milin from the time of Netzachama to Shkia. And yet over here we see from this Brayser Rabbi Yehuda that it's 32. The Gemara suggests, let us say a refutation on Rabbi Yochanan also. Because after all, Rabbi Yochanan stated that indeed there's going to be 5 milin from the dawn until Nates. Again, 5 milin also from Shkia to Tzeis. So Omar Loch, Rabbi Yochanan would say to you, no, Anna bi Yamama hu da Amri. I was saying the Yamama, that means 40 milin from dawn, from Alos HaShachar, all the way to the end of the day of Tzeis HaKochavim. That's what I was saying. The Rabban hu da Kato, and the Rabbanan, namely Ula and Rava, they made a mistake. The Kochashvan, the Kad Mechashvan. In other words, they said that it's 5 milin between Shkia and Nates. Or again, 5 milin between Alos HaShachar and Nates. And 5 milin between Shkia and Tzeis. That's incorrect. They made that assumption. That's not correct. Why? Because when people set out to travel on their journey in the morning, they tend to leave one meal earlier. And when they leave at the end of the day, they also go one meal into the end of the day after Tzeis HaKochavim. So truly, the person travels in an average of only 4 meal between, again, the Amar HaShachar and Nates, or between the Shkia and the Tzeis HaKochavim. And therefore, what I'm saying is correct. What they're saying is a tos. The Gemara now asks, let's say it's a tiyufta to Rabbi Chanina, because Rabbi Chanina was the one who said that I can attest to the fact that there's going to be a distance of 5 milin between the Alos HaShachar and Netzachama, because he brought a proof from the Pasuk Gabi Loit. The Malachim took Loit, and they took him hurriedly from the time that the sun came out, meaning the dawn, until the Netzachama, which was the area of Bo Tzoi Ara. So that he proved was indeed 5 mil, because he said, I saw that distance and I know that's 5 milin. So let's say it's a tiyufta on him as well. The Gemara says, Loi, there's no tiyufta. Why? Because ve'a'itzu shayni. That pasuk that talking about the Malachim took Lot, ve'a'itzu, they took him hurriedly. Normally it would be 4 mil, but they took him quickly, unusually quick, which was 5 mil. So again, you wouldn't have a tiyufta on him as well. Toshma, the Gemara now brings a following tiyufta. Now we're going to ask questions on the first part of the statement of Rav that said, Shisa alfi parsi have olma, that the sun then goes across the earth from sunrise to sunset, 6,000 parsa. The Gemara now brings several braisos to then refute that statement of Rav. The first one being as follows: Toshma, Mitzrayim hayo arba meos parsa al arba yomos parsa. Mitzrayim was measured as 400 by 400 parsa. Mitzrayim echa mishishim bekush, and Kush is 60 times Mitzrayim. Maybe it's referring to the entire continent of Africa. The Kush echa mishishim ba'olam, and the world is 60 times that of Kush. Va'olam echa mishishim began, and the world is only 1/6 of Gan. That means that the Gan is 60 times the oilam. The Gan echa mishishim ba'eden, and Eden is 60 times more than Gan. Ve'eden echa mishishim begehenim, and Gehenim is 60 times more than Eden. Nimtze kol ha'olam kulo kikisu kideo legehenim. Comes out that the entire world is only like a cover, a pot cover, the cover of a pot on the entire pot, compared to Gehenim, to Yufta. So we see from over here the fact that it says that Mitzrayim was 400 by 400 parsa, Kush was 60 times more, and the world is 60 times more than that. Certainly it's much greater than the 6,000 parsa that Rava said. Toshma, another tiyufta, Titano, Debelio. Rabbi Nosson Oimer, Rabbi Nosson says, Kol hayishuv kuloi tachas echad yoshev. The entire civilization is underneath the breadth, the diameter of one star. Teida sharei adam noisin eino kikochav echad. A person, if he would observe the star, if he would go to the east, he would also see the star in the same place. Whichever direction he would then go to, he would still see the star in the same place. Meaning to say that he's underneath the star. So if that's the case, that the entire civilization is underneath one star, then indeed there are many more than just one star, which is clearly more than the 6,000 that Rava had stated. Tiyufta, indeed, is a refutation. Toshma, another refutation. The Gemara brings from the following brisa: Egla b'tzofim ve'akra b'daron. Here we're talking about the formation of Egla in the north and scorpion on the south. Those are always constant. The Egla is found on the north and the scorpion is on the south. And all of the civilization is somewhere between these 2 points. And the entire Yishuv only has a sun going 1 hour across it. For the Chama only enters 1 hour during the day. And now we're talking about 1 hour. If that's the case, well, we have also then 11 more hours. I'll prove to you that it's only going 1 hour because, indeed, there are 5. At the 5th hour, the sun is in the east. And if you look on the 7th hour, you'll see that the sun is in the west. But if you look in the middle of the day, between a half an hour before the 6th hour and a half an hour afterwards, you'll see that the sun is above. So you see over here that the sun only goes across 1 hour, and that's only 1 hour of a 12-hour day. So it's clearly we see that this is greater than the 6,000 parsah that Rava had stated. Tiyufta. Toshma, Gemara brings another tiyufta against Rava. Doma Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. What was the answer, the response of the Baskol that said to that Rasha at that time? Shenemar, he stated, when he said, Sheomar, when Nebuchadnezzar stated the following, Ele al bamose of, I will go up over the tops of the cloud, Adam ele elyon, I will be compared like the uppermost one, Hashem. Yotzis Baskol v'amrloi. A Baskol emanated and said the following to Nebuchadnezzar Rasha. Rasha ben Benoisha Nimor HaRasha. Shehimrid es kol ha'olam kuloi alai b'malchusoi. The Rasha, who's the son of the Rasha, who's a descendant of Nimrod, who caused a merida, the entire world against me, when he then caused them a rebellion to make the Tower of Bavel. Kama shnoisa shel Adam. How many years is a man? Shivim shana v'im begvura shmonim shana. If he's an average person, then his lifespan is 70 years. If he's strong, then 80 years. Shnema says in the Pasuk, Yemei shnoisav shnoseinu bahem shivim shana v'im begvura shmonim shana. Mina oretz ala rakia mahalich chamesh me'oy shana. From the ground, the earth, to the firmament, to the sky, comes out to be 500 me'os. V'oivyoy shel rakia mahalich chamesh me'os shana. And the thickness of the rakia is 500 years. Ubein rakia l'rakia mahalich chamesh me'os shana. And between each rakia is another 500 years, and there's 7 rakim. V'chein bein kol rekia v'rekia. Ach el Sheol turad. But to the Sheol, to the Gehinnom, you will go down. El Yarkesei Bor, to the depths of the pit. Hashem says in the Baskel to Nebuchadnezzar. So you see from over here that indeed, just as going from the earth to the Rakia is 500 years, also the width is 500 years. And if that's the case, so then we're talking about 500 years times 70, times 10 parsos a day. So we have a much bigger number than the 6,000 that was mentioned by Rava Tiyufta. Again, we have another refutation.